You ever think to yourself, you know what would be awesome? If there was a checkbox or some other mechanism within our web browsers or social media platforms to block all AI generated content. Whether you're scrolling Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever your social media of choice is, there is a constant influx of this AI generated content being produced and flooding across all areas of the internet. It's images, it's music, it's videos, written text, code, it's advertising with voiceovers, it's faceless channels with voiceovers used by AI. It is everywhere and in everything. Just look at the recent Super Bowl where roughly 23% of the ads were for AI companies such as Anthropic, openAI, with some brands leveraging AI in the creation process of the ads they created, such as the Svedka vodka, which for some reason the video on their YouTube channel has its comments turned off. I wonder why. Maybe it's because they didn't want to get a backlash from people who are tired of seeing all the AI in advertising, like Coke did when they released their winter commercial that they always do. That's probably why they don't have it. I'm not completely anti-AI, as it may have some use cases in society for speeding up some of the boring processes that we have in work and in creating. I think of things such as there's DAWs that do stem separation that'll use AI or some kind of machine learning to break out all the audio into different versions of the song, from vocals to bass to rhythm to some of the harmony parts. And that also happens to occur in DJ software such as Rekordbox, Serato, or DJ Pro, where you can just highlight the vocals of a song, the bass of the song, the drums of the song. That way you can do mixing a bit easier without having to use the EQs. And then there's things like Final Cut Pro, where we have the magnetic mask that you can drop on a piece of video and it'll follow your subject for however long that clip is, and basically mask them out or the background out, so that way you can, put some text or change out background out and just allow for your creative juices to flow with how you can use that. Yes, you could do masking frame by frame, but that takes forever and it's not a good use of time. It's not really a creative thing. It's more of a tool within the creative process. And I know there's a lot of these pro AI users who'd be, well, you're using AI to make something creative. I wouldn't say that would be the case because it's not doing anything that I didn't tell it to do. Whereas a lot of these generative AI tools, you just put in a prompt and it feeds something in. I don't care how detailed your prompt is. It's not really a creative expression, in my opinion. In the work world, taking notes, for example, you can use AI to do that. There is some use cases too, maybe why you shouldn't do it, or cognitive thinking in regards to handwriting notes, which is even superior to typing out notes for a meeting. You can also think about there could be a lot of data stuff that AI can suck up and just synthesize a lot faster than a human can that could be usable. But in all these instances, you have to have a human involved to kind of validate and make sure things didn't go off the rails. What I wanted to discuss really quickly is should we be labeling AI content? Should AI content have some kind of watermark on it that's devised by the platforms that these people are uploading this content into? As AI evolves, I think it's more important that there's some kind of mechanism for us to either opt out of seeing all this stuff, or that it needs to be labeled as such, that it was AI created or mostly AI created, because there's always some kind of human aspect. Somebody had to hit the upload button. Somebody had to do a prompt. Somebody had to edit these prompt videos together. So I guess there's some kind of human process into it, although they could probably automate all that and not have to, do any of it really. But as consumers, I think we have the right to opt out of seeing any of this stuff. I think there should be a way on the platforms to block AI content from showing up in your feed. And I know companies like YouTube are testing out AI features within Shorts so that you can create AI versions of yourself creating this content. I think that's going to create a lot of unauthentic content, and you're not going to be getting the returns that you think you're going to get on it. As a society, a lot of us are starting to get tired of the AI, even though it hasn't fully ingrained itself in our lives. I think on an estimate, 30% of society is using some form of ChatGPT or other system on a daily basis. I do know there's a subset of us who are trying to avoid AI usage as much as possible unless it's required on our work. I know at my last job, it was heavily required that we use AI, but there should be a way for us as consumers not want to see that stuff, so that we know the content we are interacting with wasn't created on the backs of stolen works and utilized by big corporations to slowly remove the human aspect of creativity, where they just want a society of consumers whose only function is to consume and not to create. I know not everything can be perfect, but at least having the ability to remove a lot of the onslaught of AI content would be a start to getting us away from this travesty people call creativity, the ability to opt out of this dystopian nightmare that these AI corporations are slowly creating. We should have ability to stop seeing the AI ads, having the music show up, having the videos, having the artwork show up in our feeds. So it shouldn't be the creatives having to label their creation as human made, but that feels like it's the way we are headed. Let me know in the comments below if you think AI should be labeled. I think it should be, and there should be a way for us to opt out of seeing it. Until next time, have a great day.